and the hits just keep on coming. We knew that Powell was going to bend and break. It's next. Yes, you got that right. The numbers came in. Actually, it was what he said at a news conference, Powell, after the Fed meeting yesterday. We're going to go over that, as well as what are the Kobesi letter? What are we now at? I know it fluctuates on how many rate cuts. I know what the Fed said. Now we're going to see what the Kobesi letter comes up. What are the odds of how many breaks are we going to have next year? And what is happening to California? You got it. Gavin Newsom collapse. Next on Real Estate Daily. Welcome, everyone. My name is Troy, and every day we go over the latest news in real estate, housing, and the mortgage market. Now, before we jump into it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to give you the best 5 minutes in real estate on a daily basis. This is the dog days of December. We're looking at Santa right in our face in a couple of weeks. And what is happening? We continue to get Christmas gifts every day, and they keep pouring in. I've said it to you before. I'll say it again. We're going 2024, the election year, and everything that's around it is going to do well. Now, doesn't mean that we don't have a Black Swan event that can really wreck things there, but I'm not a big guy that has to deal with the stock market. I'm more looking at what are interest rates, which are affecting housing, credit cards, loans for automobiles, loans for virtually everything is pretty much tied to the Fed and whatever percentages are put on top. So let's jump into it right away here. This is CNBC, and we know when there's good news, there's no Diana Olick. Obviously, Fed holds rate steady, indicates 3 rate cuts coming in 2024. Whoa. Let me step back there. Powell just said last week that he's cautious that he's going to stay longer higher. And all of a sudden now, a couple days later, after this remarkable jobs come out and say, oh, there's so many people getting unemployed, and we called bullshit. Well, it was bullshit. And the CPI number comes out yesterday, and again, that is all BS as well. We know that we're in a much worse situation than we are. Doesn't matter what the government props up. Doesn't matter what we're seeing. We're seeing so many people unemployed or 2, 3, 4 jobs, and they count them as, oh, they're one. Doesn't make any sense. So with that being said, 3 rate cuts by Powell. What does the Kobesi letter say? What are they banking on in odds? It says breaking. Interest rate futures shifted, showing a 57% chance of rate cuts beginning in March 2024. Markets also seeing a growth of 9% chance of rate cuts beginning as soon as next month. So we went from 0 at their next Fed meeting, which is on January 31st, to now 9%. What happened, guys? What happened? And we got to go through January's numbers. I said that we're going to see retail numbers be poor next week, or actually tomorrow. They're coming out tomorrow. I think that everybody was buying on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and I just think that after that fact, I think it's just gone down quite a lot. People don't have the money, and if they keep putting on credit cards, the credit card debt on a monthly basis in the United States breaks record month after month after month. We're up to 1.2 trillion right now. All right, let's go look at this. There's a 28% chance of 6 cuts and 11% chance of 7 cuts. The futures are projecting a total of 5 cuts. Let's go take a look at it. Well, it looks like, according to the Kobesi letter, the odds on, so these are odds, right? The blue is considered the highest percentage of the 3. One is going to be the rate stay the same. 2 is a rate drop, and 3 is a rate hike. So think about that. Yellow hike, blue drop, white is all right. It stays right there, and it's steady, doesn't change. So take that in consideration. So look at this. We're looking at March 20th. It's 56% chance of 1 drop here. Then on June 12th, another drop right here at 43%. On 7/31, which is, I believe, July, another drop. We're looking at September, another drop. And then somewhere in the last 2 months, that's 5 drops. 5 drops next year. So they're looking at going from 5.25 550 basis points down to 400 basis points. Now, that's only quarter point drops. It could be more, especially if there's a black swan event. We could even see lower than that. If you were to take in consideration these drops and what we discussed yesterday, you take the drop for, let's call it 400 basis points or 4%, and we add, like we talked about yesterday, 150 basis points. That is the spread that they put on mortgage-backed securities. If the Fed is buying mortgage-backed securities, there is no spread. If the Fed isn't, then Morgan Stanley, the Fed, JP Morgan, anyone, Fidelity, BlackRock, anyone buying mortgage-backed securities has 150 basis point spread. With the worst case scenario, that'd be 5.5% interest rates somewhere in September through the end of the year. Game on, guys. We're going to see this happen. It's going to be another big season of real estate, and there's no question about it. Most people said that somewhere in the fives, they would sell their house and move to a bigger house. So you go from a 2.75 to a 5.5% interest rate, is tolerable. It's not tolerable jumping to a 7. So we're going over interest rates in a minute, but this shows 5 cuts. All right, mortgage refinances, demand jumps 19% after rates hit lowest level since July. Guys, I wouldn't even refi now. I would wait a few days or even a week, because we're going to see with those 3 rate cuts and how the market's going to inhale them, we're going to see rates drop. That's really important. And we're going to go over interest rates here in a minute, but this is an enormous surge in mortgage refinance demand. All right. Now, for all the world's a stage, let's go back to X and let's see Peter St. Onge. I always thought Peter St. Onge was a big woke boy, and I think he's just turned. He's just seen the numbers look so skewed and ugly. Well, let's talk
California
about
is going bankrupt.
California, baby. California is going bust. And this is from today. Turning 100 billion surplus into a 68 billion deficit in 2 years, with another 87 billion to come. In return, California's got homeless encampments, broke down windmills, and Mad Max cities where Kleenex boxes need to be locked up. The few remaining taxpayers are running away, replaced by imported wards of the state. Guys, this guy is all over it. We are hemorrhaging money, and it starts right there in Sacramento. It started right there in Washington, D.C. It is unadulterated spending everything and anything, right? All the controversy that Gavin Newsom continues to take, he just spends money that he doesn't have. And we can't be in a deficit today of 68 billion. That's ridiculous. And going forward, we just don't see, this is already projects that are promised that they already funded. So where do they get the money to make up for this? Well, they go right to utility companies and they keep putting surcharges on and raising your gas, electric, and your water bills. In fact, if you're looking at water today, the latest they came out is now you have a big water tax. And if you use too much water, what they're going to do is they'll just shut you off, guys. Boom, gone, see ya. In fact, they're going to fine you and then throw you in jail. They've already had made that mention. They continue annually and biannually raising your electric bill all the time. And don't worry, Ricardo Lara, who raised your gas bill last January, December and January, by 300%. Hey, he's back, boys, and he's ready to raise everything up again. It's so maddening to think that a guy who has zero knowledge going into what his title is, and then comes out and blows it for all Californians. Anyone out there that owns a home knows, what have you endured in the last 3 years? Ricardo, what have you done? Boys, behind door number 1, utilities going up. So you had your electric going up, door number 2, gas going up, door number 3. Oh yeah, the property insurance have gone up. All the insurers are running out of the state. They want nothing to do with him and Gavin Newsom. They continue to bully them, and then all of a sudden when they run away, they beg them back, and they got the big F-U fingers right in front. They're not dealing with it. All I know is even my carrier, the The carrier Lemonade, which is a online carrier, doesn't have anyone out there, doesn't have anything. So they said they can do everything cheaper. They have now said they're now cutting back significantly in California. It's a losing proposition. Doesn't make sense. Why aren't you allowing free markets? What is a dictator there? The slick dictator. Slick Dick's out there making all these decisions, and he continues to hurt Californians. Why is this guy even in office? Come on. What social events has he done? Has he helped anybody and the homeless? He ran on homeless, and homeless has gone up 300% since he's been. And he said, F it, I don't even care anymore. Let's make them voters. And just my opinion. All right, let's jump into interest rates here. We saw them fall a little bit yesterday, down 2 basis points. It hit its head. So we know conventional went down right below 7% and then kept hitting its head all this week on 7%. Wouldn't go over 7%. Now it dropped, and now it's got a little breathing room. But look at FHA. Nice drop there, guys. 7 basis points. We're at 6.75. I predict we'll be in the 6.6s tomorrow because you know the 10-year bond just dropped off the cliff with this Fed news. It went down 20 basis points. Holy crap. So the market's going to take a little time to inhale this a little bit, but we're going to see interest rates drop even further, which is going to really help the first quarter of 2024 really get going again. Kickstart the real estate market. And I've said it over and over and over. And I know so many people laugh it off. So many influencers out there want the market to crash, whatever. The best time to buy is now. Because if interest rates go into the 5s, we're going to have buyers coming out of the woodwork. We're going to have sellers coming out of the woodwork. And prices are going to go up. Because most sellers are going to be buying up. They're not, there's your family's wealth, the majority of your family's wealth is in your house. If you sell your house and become a renter, your family wealth will start to decrease. Living in a house, your family wealth continues to increase, right? Not necessarily on a monthly basis, not necessarily on a yearly basis. But if you look over a 5, 10, 15, 20-year basis, you have never seen anything go flat during that time. It's always on an incline. It's about supply and demand. There's so many more people that need home and housing than there is houses for sale. Fact. Going facts. Guys, you take care. If you have any comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. It is a fantastic Wednesday. Take care.